Yo, 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 yo. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn Show, man. Today is November the 4th, and there are, I think it was 6 games on the board for today in the NBA. So we'll go through them as we always do. We'll break them down, talk about them. And before we do, we always go through what happened yesterday. Yesterday, I gave out 2 official plays, and they split. They went 1-1. Um, Shout out to the Boston Celtics not being able to score the basketball against the Utah Jazz, but that's a whole different story for another day. End up losing that game outright. Um, After coming off the loss to Houston, that was pretty impressive to me. What the Utah Jazz were able to do yesterday. Um, and then the winner was the fading the Brooklyn Nets, taking the Minnesota Timberwolves minus the 8.5. But if you got the 9, that was also a winner. So 1-1 day for myself yesterday. A couple of the leans cashed, a couple of them didn't cash. I think overall would have been a little bit more of a profitable day had I made those bets though. So hopefully you guys made some money yesterday. We'll start off with Jackson, your AI sports betting tool, really quickly before we get into the games for today. So yesterday Jackson split as well. The player props were AJ Green over his 8.5 points. He finished with 13, so that was a winner. And Zach LaVine over his 29.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And he finished with I think he finished with 24 yesterday. Shot the ball pretty inefficiently and didn't even shoot the ball that many times. I think he was 4 for 11 when I looked at it last night. So 1-1 day for Jackson yesterday. I asked Jackson today for I actually switched it up. I asked Jackson for hold on, no, let's see if I switch it up. No. I asked Jackson for the 2 best player props for today. The one, no, can't give you guys that. That's a minus 425. But I can give you guys this. Con Knipple of the Charlotte Hornets, the rookie, flamethrower, over his 6.5 rebounds and assists. Jackson likes. It says that that the pick offers excellent value due to Knipple's recent uptick in production and extremely soft defensive matchup against a struggling Pelicans team. It says he's hit this number in 80% of his games so far this season. So he's averaging right at 7.14 combined assists plus rebounds this season, which is above the 6.5 line. More importantly, his production has spiked recently, averaging 8 assists plus rebounds in his last 5 contests. This suggests he's settling into a larger role and finding better efficiency. When playing on the road, Knipple has been particularly effective, hitting it over 66% of his road games, averaging 6.63 assists plus rebounds. So that's the one. That's the only one I'm gonna give you guys today. Con Knipple over on his rebounds and assists. Interesting play, but the Pelicans defense is absolutely Swiss cheese. So couldn't take any unders there. The reason why I'm not gonna give you guys the other plays, because a lot of times I don't even look at these until I read them. But it's actually Giannis double, which is minus 425. I'm not gonna read the analysis on that. But yeah, Con Knipple will be the only solo play for today, man. Before we jump into it, let's see who's here. I appreciate you guys for all tapping in and for hitting the like button, running the streams up, all that good stuff. If you don't mind, please hit the like button again. Tag says morning community, Raptors plus 4.5. You mean Raptors minus 4.5. And he says, I like the Raps getting points. They're not getting points, not giving. Pels get their first win today. Okay. Jay Stone says, love the show, my man. Appreciate the insight and good vibes. Let's cash. Absolutely, Jay Stone. Right back at you, man. I appreciate the good vibes as well. Adam says he cashed Russell Wilson revenge angle last night. He says you can get Joel Embiid over 4.5 first quarter points on Hard Rock. His line is 6.5 everywhere else. I would slam it if it's not gone yet. If you slam it in the cash, they're gonna limit you. I've been in that situation before. What's up, Jay? Appreciate you for tapping in. Says he smashed the Heat money line in the over on the parlay. I talked about liking that over between the Clippers and the Heat last night. Probably should have got there. Carlos says, good morning, Chris. I can't believe the Lakers won yesterday. I had the Portland minus 3 before the Luka and Austin Reeves were rolled out. Didn't matter because they still won outright. Yesterday was not my night. It'd be like that, Carlos. It'd be like that, bro. I didn't even stay up for the game last night. I wasn't feeling well, which is actually why I'm a little late this morning. Contemplating not doing a show because I don't feel the greatest today. But yeah, I was watching the game yesterday. I saw, Portland jumped out to the big lead, and then the Lakers came back, and I think I turned it off in the third quarter and just went to sleep. So I didn't watch the full game, but I did wake up this morning, catch a little bit of the fourth quarter. Nick Smith Jr. didn't expect that coming over. I think he played for Charlotte last season. Looked great last night against like 25 points off the bench against Portland. Portland, you don't really want them laying that many points, but it did make sense for them to be laying that many points last night. No Austin Reeves and no Luka, but I don't know, man. JJ Redick trying to win Coach of the Year, maybe. Trying to win Coach of the Year. Free Sauce says, told y'all Russ double plus 650 cash easily. I saw plus 1,200 for Russ double yesterday. What else y'all saying in the comments? Embiid first quarter. OKC team total, Golden State team total. Pacers are tough on the spread. They are. What up, Justin? Appreciate you for tapping in. Good morning, G421. This Bucks is dog 5.5 toast. We'll talk about those. What up, Si? Frankie says, good morning, Chris. Happy to catch it live, bro. Appreciate you for tapping in, Frankie. What up, dude? He says, bless, Chris. No Luka, no Reeves, no LeBron. Lakers said, we got it. Yeah. Sometimes in it, that's why you manage your, you have to be able to manage your bankroll because you just can't make some of this stuff up, man. You can't make some of this stuff up. J. Dot says Pels win today. Varya says, what's up, Chris? JJ had them boys in LA, have them boys in LA bought in. Good, even though I was on the Blazers -2.5. On the Bulls, y'all going crazy in the comments. I can't hit all these, but I appreciate y'all. What up, OG Wham? What up, Wham? Hope all is well with you, bro. Appreciate you for tapping in. Dude says that boy Aiden went out. Aiden did go crazy last night. He did go crazy last night against his old Blazers team. Maybe he had a little extra motivation. Yeah, that's why I don't parlay though, because always the unexpected will happen when you don't expect it to happen. I was gonna mention this, Free Sauce. SGA said publicly that he gets up for these Clipper games. He actually said it in the Starting Five documentary. I was watching it yesterday, or day before yesterday. Yeah, I was watching it on Sunday, and he said, "Yeah, I always get up for the Clippers games." So over his points, it seems like could be a thing today. But we shall talk about it. Mad I missed the number last night because I do think that was probably the top look of the day. All right, gave you guys Jackson. Link is in the description. Concanipple over his 6.5 rebounds and assists today in that game against the Pelicans is what Jackson likes. Again, check Jackson out. Link is in the description. And let's jump into the games for today. So first one we got up is the Bucks in the Raptors. So you got the Raptors at the crib. This line last night was not 4. It was not 3, not 4.5. It was 3. And I'm looking at it like I hadn't really looked into the games, but I'm looking at it like, why the Raptors laying 4 points? And then I tried to rationalize it, make it make sense. I'm like, this is too big of a number for the Raptors to be laying. But then I look at it, and Giannis was listed as questionable yesterday, and then probable, and then he ended up playing. So do they rest him? Maybe the books knew something already because this went from 3 to 4, then from 4 to 4.5. Then I start looking at the spot. And, if you guys watched the game last night, Giannis hit the game winner. Nelson was upset for the Pacers. You got to be kidding me. But that was funny. But anyway, the Bucks played, I think most of their starters played north of 30 minutes last night. And this is not the greatest travel spot. And I think that's why the Raptors are laying points in this spot. This is second leg of back-to-back for the Bucks, traveling from Indiana to Toronto, third game in 4 nights, fourth game in 6 nights as well. And they've already had back-to-back non-covers. They didn't cover against the Kings. They lost that game outright. Didn't cover last night against the Pacers. But now you're getting 4.5 points. I think if you like the Bucks, you like them early in this game, especially based on the injury report. Like if Giannis is ruled out in this game, that wouldn't surprise me, especially, with it being such a terrible situational spot for the Bucks. I know the Bucks are the better team. You do want Jakob Poeltl in if you want Toronto. He's listed as questionable. I know he's missed the last 2 games due to a back injury. I definitely would want him in because Giannis still can absolutely have a field day without Jakob Poeltl in this game, in my opinion. Milwaukee, they're 5-2, 5-2 against the spread. And then Toronto, they have come off back-to-back wins against Cleveland and Minnesota, back-to-back unders as well. They do have a 1-day rest advantage. This is their second straight home game, and they got a little bit of revenge. They lost the first game that they played. I was on Toronto in that game. They just turned the ball over too many times in the fourth quarter. I do remember that. And the Bucks were able to go in and get one. But I think the longer this game goes on, the more it does favor the Raptors. I don't really want to lay this many points with the Raptors, but I can understand. I can understand teams in these major disadvantage spots, especially coming off a win. and then your road dog in that second leg is typically not a great bet on spot. So I didn't really look too much into player props, but those are my quick thoughts. You got Gary Trent going back to Toronto as well. Yeah, I'm probably not gonna bet the game, but if I do bet it, it would probably be a look towards probably later points with the Raptors. Maybe I can get a better number with them at halftime. Let's see what you guys are thinking here. Utah cover against the Celtics. We're gonna talk about it. Boy. Talk about the Celtics having one of their worst shooting nights ever. I think they were 11 for 51 from the three-point line last night against the Utah Jazz. You can't make this stuff up, man. Let's see. What up, JoJo? Appreciate you for tapping in. Justin says he played the over. Revenge spot for the Raps. Scotty Barnes double-double. What up, Malik? Says let's make some money. What's up, Tariq? Says good morning, Chris. I had the Bucks in a 2-team parlay. Talking about sweat. I'm thinking the Raps live after the first half is over. And I agree. I do agree. Just to give you guys some numbers, I looked it up. I'm not going to do too many plays based on SDQL, but it's not a spot you want to lay points with the Milwaukee Bucks. Remember on Sunday I talked about liking the Utah Jazz, and they might have watched the show and wanted to make sure I lost some money, because if you can have the rest advantage against the Charlotte Hornets without LaMelo Ball and go in there and absolutely get obliterated, lose the first quarter by damn near 20 points and be down by almost 40 at halftime, and then you can bounce back and beat the Charlotte Hornets on the second leg. And then you can bounce back and go in and beat Boston on the second leg of a back-to-back. And mind you, that was a great spot for Boston. Second straight home game. They were super motivated coming off a loss against their worst loss of the season against the Houston Rockets the other day. So, that's just the way the NBA works sometimes, man. It's kind of crazy. It's absolutely kind of crazy. But I say that to say that, there was a bad spot for the Charlotte Hornets, but the Charlotte Hornets didn't have LaMelo Ball, didn't have Brandon Miller, but they were playing back-to-back home games. And they actually, I think, 2-0 straight up and against the spread in back-to-back home games, because they beat the Wizards earlier in this spot as well. So just wanted to make sure I mentioned that. These spots where teams are playing fourth game in 6 nights and they're coming off a road win and then they're a road dog, they typically don't cover. They lose about 60% of the time. And I was looking into some trends that supported that. Lean Raptors first half, Bucks 0-3 in the first half. I could see that one as well, chosen one. We shall see. What up, TC Bets? He says, what's good, Chris? Josh Hart was plus 700, was good money yesterday. Glad you got that. Free sauce reminding us that it's revenge. Raptors lost all 3 games to the Bucks last season and won already this season. Jane Band says Bucks allow a lot of threes. RJ shot 8 threes last game. I'm going with his over 1.5 made threes. That makes sense. Let's put some numbers to that real quick. How many threes do the Bucks allow per game? Or at least where do they rank at? Because it's not a great spot. Like somebody on Toronto should turn up in this spot. Should be a good spot for Toronto. Toronto's 11th in offensive efficiency right now, 7th in effective field goal percentage. The Bucks are 16th defensively. I do expect them to take a step back there, but they're not bad defending the three. They're actually top 10 in both frequency and accuracy for their opponents right now, now that I'm looking at it. So take with that information, do what you want. I do expect it to drop a little bit tonight, though. What's up, AOD? Says Detroit basketball. We talked about them Pistons yesterday, man. They said they about to start owning the Memphis Grizzlies now. They said it like yesterday. What's up, 3 times? It's good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Let's go 76ers. Good luck. Okay. Indo says Raptors are going to win to avenge the Blue Jays. They need to. They need to, man. It's hard. Probably hard right now up there. Nautos is playing Gary Trent over his points. Friso says this is an off game, but Knipples threes. Yeah, we'll talk about that. What up, Parlay J? Says, get us right, Chris. Appreciate the show. Appreciate you for tapping in. Helm says Bucks, Raptors over 236. I could see over. I could definitely see over. What up, Helms? Fear Elite says, yo, I'm back. Hope you're doing well. VA in the building. What up, Fear Elite? Hope all is well with you, bro. Appreciate you for tapping in as always. Justin says, yeah, the Pistons heard him last night. I know it's a short number, and I know Justin liked them like the Grizzlies, but man, Detroit is such a better team. Like, even outside all the Josh stuff, Detroit is just much better than the Memphis Grizzlies right now. This version of the Memphis Grizzlies. All right, let's keep it moving. Next game up, the Magic will be in the A-Town tonight, laying 3.5 points. Total open to 29.5. It is starting to take some steam under. I see as low as 227.5, but looks like consensus is 228.5. So injury report here, we got remember that Trae Young is not playing for Atlanta. Orlando should come into this game pretty healthy. Mo Wagner has not played yet this season. He will still continue to be out. So Orlando, interestingly enough, is 2-5 against the spread so far, but they are coming off back-to-back covers. They beat the Charlotte Hornets. They beat the Washington Wizards. How much credit do we really want to give them for those 2 wins? Atlanta's by far a much better opponent, of course. This is the last of a 5-game road trip. You don't like that for Orlando. But what you do like for Orlando here is that they do have 2 days of rest. Because remember, they were kind of jamming all those games in. They were playing the 5th game in 7 nights, which is why I couldn't touch them against Charlotte. And I think that was on Friday night, and they haven't played since then. Or no, they played on Friday. That was on Thursday. They played the Wizards and blew the doors off the Wizards in DC. We got to talk about the Wizards, man. They absolutely look trash. I got to start manually automatically fading them every game. But anyway, back to this game. They do have 2 days of rest in this spot. You don't love the spot for Atlanta. They're only 2-5 against the spread so far this season. They've lost both of their games at home. They haven't covered either game so far at home. And it's their first game back home after a 4-game road trip. And you got a revenge spot for Orlando. They end up losing to Atlanta. Was this on opening night? No, it wasn't opening night. It was the second game, I think, because Orlando beat Miami, I think, on opening night. But regardless of that, Orlando lost that game by 4. It was 111-107. And now I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I really don't really know what to do with this game. We've seen Atlanta play twice without twice? I think it was twice without Trae Young. The first game against the Pacers, their offense looked great. Scored 130 points against the Pacers, pretty much. And then they go to Cleveland and can't score the basketball at all. I think they finished with like 107. I feel like I need to see a little bit more of a sample size for Atlanta. I know that they have some feisty players. Atlanta don't play enough defense for me, man. Like, Orlando has gone back-to-back games, but they haven't given up more than 108 points. So maybe they're starting to figure it out defensively. I do think that, with them having a little bit of rest in the spot, eventually their defense is going to figure it out. Jamal Mosley will have these guys playing well. 3.5 just feels like it should be about right where it is, in my opinion. Don't really like landing a lot of points with Orlando, specifically on the road, and it's because their offense can really, really start to dry up, specifically in the fourth quarter. I'm pretty sure that this is one of the worst offenses in the fourth quarter, Orlando is. And the only reason I would even contradict myself in saying that is because I feel like they haven't played good in the first half at all. Atlanta hasn't either, though. So maybe Orlando has been a little bit better in the fourth quarter because they're typically playing from behind. But I know for sure that this is not a great fourth quarter offense. I don't know. When it comes down to shot making, this is not a team that I want to be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to put my money on Orlando. Let's see. They're 24th in scoring in the fourth quarter. They're averaging 25.9 points, shooting 41%, which is the 41% is the second worst. So I watched the Orlando Magic play a lot. 41% in the fourth quarter is the second lowest field goal percentage in the fourth quarter, behind only the New York Knicks. So they're not a great fourth quarter offense. I don't really feel like I want to be laying a lot of points with Orlando. I guess by default it'd be Atlanta plus the points in this game. I know that Orlando got the revenge, but I think Atlanta could keep this game close. I'm just scared to bet them because I want to see them play a little bit more without Trae Young before betting them. So that's my thought process on this game. Let's see what you guys are thinking. Hawks money line. So Helms agrees. Dude says 3.5 Magic and Franz over his points. Freesaw says Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Showing us he really SGA cousin. He has looked good, man. I didn't even really look into player props too much. Not at all, but I will take some time and look into some player props today. Nickeil Alexander-Walker is going to continue to get – he's going to continue to get the usage. I feel like he'll force Coach Quinn Quinn Snyder to play him just because of the defense that he can play. They'll need him to, be able to slow down Desmond Bane. I guess you got some pretty good guard defenders. I don't know. I kind of want to play under too. I kind of feel like Orlando's offense is still a little fool's gold. I don't think that they figured it out offensively. So I guess I lean towards the under as well. But I don't really have enough I don't feel enough conviction to play either one of these. Let's see real quick. I just want to look at Nickeil Alexander-Walker. I'm going to show this. I'm going to pull this up so you guys can see it as well. Let's go. Player props. Let's go. All right, so Nickeil Alexander-Walker, let's just go to this season specifically, and let's go to his points. You can see that he has gone over he's at 15.5. He's gone over in every game so far this season. 6 of his 7 games so far. So 86% hit rate to the over. He is barely getting over. You can see, line sitting at 15.5. He got the 16 in the last game against Cleveland, 18, 17, 17. His rebounds and assists, or maybe it's just his assists. See his rebounds and assists. So 7.5 is the number today. You can see he got the 8 in the last game. I feel like the minutes have continued to go up, right? Let's see. Yeah, minutes have consistently gone up. So 30, 32, 32, 34. What's his whole PRA? It is 23.5. I think he was set at 17.5 in this game. This was the first game without Trey, right? Yeah, because Trey got hurt in this Brooklyn game. So he has gone over in back-to-back games. I feel like Jalen Johnson, which I know his number is going to continue to be inflated as well. Jalen Johnson has had some really good games without Trey Young so far this season as well in those 2 games. So this is not a super soft defense, of course, but Jalen Johnson points, rebounds, and assists without Trey Young. These are 2 games, 43 and 41, 22, 13 and 8, and 23, 13 and 5 in these 2 games. So he's crushed this 35.5 line. Minutes 33 and 34. So maybe a look towards those 2 guys. I still kind of feel like the game will go under, and I still kind of feel like I don't really want to lay points with Orlando on the road, even though it's not necessarily the greatest spot situationally for the Orlando Magic. All right. Let's see. All right, that's my thoughts. Let's see what you guys are thinking, and then we'll go to the next game. Orlando team total over 115.5. Orlando went over the last 3 road games. They were I can't get there with a team total. RH says Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Atlanta points and assists over 19.5. What's up, Library? Appreciate you for tapping in. Plug Ball says Magic 6 and 14 in their last 20 visits to it versus the Hawks. What up, LJ? Says who gets the assist for the Hawks today? Orlando gives up a lot of assists to the guard position. I think it's got to be Nickeil Alexander-Walker, right? I also feel like just watching the games, Luke Kennard has been playing a lot of point guard as well. Fierce says last game went under even with Trey Young, I believe. It definitely went under. It was only 218 points scored. Orlando live if they are plus money spread plus 3.5 and up. Quee says he played Paulo 20 points, Magic minus 1.5. Hawks off loss, take the over, LJ says. First half for TC bets, over under. I think under. I think it's an under game. Magic minus 3.5. Yeah, I think I'd be taking the points with Atlanta. I think I'd also be playing the under. Those are my 2 thoughts. Atlanta's defense. I feel like Atlanta's offense. Real quick, I'm gonna show you guys how I found this too. And now, it's not even anything paid. I'm gonna just show you guys. I'm not affiliated with Cleaning the Glass, but this is a website that I use to do some analytical stuff as well. So you go in here, you click on teams, you go down here, you find the Atlanta Hawks, and then you go here and you click on lineups, and then once you get the lineups, you can come in here and you can filter lineups. So you can look at teams with pretty much any kind of figuration you want to find with them being on and off the floor. So Trey Young on the floor today. You come down here, you can see that they're averaging 116 points per 100 possessions, which is not great. Offense hasn't been great with Trey Young. And differential, they are minus 9.8 with Trey Young on the floor this season so far. You can see their defensive rating with Trey Young on the floor is absolutely terrible. 125.7 puts them in the 8th percentile. Now, you want to be high. You want this number to be orange. Their defense with Trey Young on the floor is terrible. 125 is crazy. So then I like to come in here and do the same thing, right? I like to compare. I'll write these numbers down. So 125 is what I'm remembering with Trey Young on the floor. Now Trey Young off the floor, look at this, 110.3. and this is 82nd percentile. So just teaching you guys, like how I kind of look into the games from an analytical perspective. Defense is light years better with Trae Young off the floor. 15-point differential in points allowed per 100 possessions with Trae Young off the floor. So when I think about it like that, that does make me think a little bit more of an under, especially bringing Nickeil Alexander-Walker in. Offense is not as good as Trae Young, but defense is a lot better. I think under would be the look that I would play in this game. That's my thought process. All right, let's keep it moving. Next game up, we got the Hornets and the Pelicans. Charlotte is in New Orleans today. They are they're getting 2.5 points now. So we got LaMelo Ball listed as questionable. Josh Green is listed as out. No Brandon Miller, of course. He's going to be out for quite a while. Grant Williams continues to be out as well. On the Pelican side of things, Zion is listed as questionable, and then Messi is listed as questionable. DeJounte Murray continues to be out. Now, the Pelicans open as 1-point favorites, 1.5-point favorites. That number is moved to 2.5. I even see a 3 right now. So people are betting on the 0-6 Pelicans to win their first game of the season. I don't want to say that that's going to happen, but it does. I can see it making a lot of sense. Somebody must know that Zion is going to play, because there's no way that you take the Pelicans with Zion listed as questionable thinking that he's not going to play. But for this number to be pushed from 1.5 up to 3 on a couple books already, I think that does, say that Zion is going to play. And LaMelo, if he plays, I do think the line could potentially come back down a little bit as well. Charlotte should not have won their last game in the fashion that they wanted it, especially without LaMelo Ball, especially without Brandon Miller. And it's a terrible spot for them. 3rd game in 4 nights, 4th game in 6 nights as well, and it's 5th game in 8 nights for the Charlotte Hornets as well. Now, the Pelicans' first game back home after a 3-game road trip is not a favorable spot in any form of imagination, but they lost all 3 games. None of them were even competitive. And it's a terrible spot for them when you think about not just them coming off 3 straight road games, but they also only have this home game. Then they go back on the road to play the Mavs tomorrow, and they got 3 more road games after this. So you got the Mavs tomorrow, and I forgot who they got after that, but you got 2 more road games after that as well. And it's not a great spot. I think it's a terrible spot for the Pelicans. I'm not touching this game with a 10-foot pole, but I could understand why people think the Pelicans are going to get their first win. It should be an ultimate desperation spot. I think when I looked at it, they don't have another winnable game in their next few. I don't think they're going to beat Dallas tomorrow. Just defensively, they're just so bad. And Dallas continues to come off a couple losses as well. So in my opinion, it's not like Dallas is going to overlook, this Pelicans team with them not being able to win a game themselves either. So I think the Pelicans' next few games are pretty tough. Yeah, they play Dallas, they play San Antonio, and then they play Phoenix. And all 3 of those games are on the road. They'll be dogs in all 3 of those games, definitely. What's his name? Willie Green probably about to get fired soon. It's not looking good for him right now. I considered the over in this game. If LaMelo and Zion are rolled in, I do think that this total continues to shoot up. It was at 234. It's up to 236.5, and that's with Zion and LaMelo both listed as questionable. Both of these teams are 24th, the worst in defensive rating. The Hornets even worse defensive rated on the road as well. The Hornets' last couple road games, they played against Miami and gave up 144. They played the Wizards and gave up 113. They played Philly and gave up 125. Those are the 3 road games that they played so far. So I do think the Pelicans offense, even though they do play a little bit of a slower pace, should be able to score the basketball. They're not the greatest offensive team, but the Charlotte Hornets defense, in my opinion, is not going to be that great either. So I think it's a little bit more of an over spot. I agree with the total going up. Let's see what you guys are thinking. What up? Brian says Lakers last night, scrappy as hell, got the victory with Miami. Let's find it today. Yeah, absolutely. Helm says Pels gonna get their first win today. No bet. I ain't betting either. Boomin says he'll take Colin Sexton over his points and assists. He has been hooping. Could be a little bit of a letdown spot for Sexton after wanting to really push it to the Jazz in that last game, and he did. Justin says he got the Pels minus 122 on the money line when he bet it. R8 says under, hitting 11 of the New Orleans Pelicans last 15 games at home. Steven says these cluster injuries make NBA beyond hard to cap, and I agree. It's terrible, man. Gregory says I altered the line for Boston and Utah to Boston +3 and parlayed it with Memphis. Cam Spencer 2.5 rebounds, and God, you did a lot. And it cashed. As long as it cashed, Greg. As long as it cashed, Gregory. Mainly betting a prop better. Steve, the Laker run is BS. You keep winning, man. Keep winning. What's up, Jamal? Says we're good, Chris. I think Colin Sexton over his points, rebounds, assists might be a good move, especially if LaMelo is out tonight. I mean, he's gonna have to go crazy. And it's not like the Pelicans stopping anybody. I'm staying away from this game too, dude. I don't want to touch this game, man. Not even with a free bet. I got a $100 free bet. I'm not putting it on. Not in this game. Let me get a withdrawal. Let's see. Leaning Hornets, but need to know LaMelo's status. LaMelo and Giddey triple-double. We can all retire tonight. Zion rebounds and assists if he plays. Joe, this is what's the name of the website again, Chris? This is Cleaning the website I just showed, Jojo, was Cleaning the Glass. It's called cleaningtheglass.com. They got all the advanced analytics. I use their website on a daily basis. And I think it's like $5 a month. It's like $5 a month. I've had that for a couple years now. JW says Hornets revenge game. We're moving them out of the city. Man, them kids definitely don't know nothing about that. I definitely think it's worth it, plug. And I'm not affiliated with Cleaning the Class. Like, they don't pay me anything. Yeah, I definitely think it's worth it. It's so much analytical data on Cleaning the Class, and it's updated every single day. They send you like a newsletter every single morning at like 6 a.m., which lets you know that all the data from the last night's games are in there. So you can find way more than what I just showed you guys. But I use it for, that's just one of the reasons I use it for. Let's see. Vario says Bronny was 6 times last night. Magic Johnson voice. All right, let's keep pushing. Next game up we got is the Philadelphia 76ers and the Chicago Bulls. Game open with the 76ers getting a point, right? Yeah, they were getting a point and a half on a couple books. And Philly's taking money against Chicago. The spread, the total is going up. Open 239, it's up to 240. I see a 240 and a half out there as well. Kind of agree with that. So let's talk about it. We got Jared McCain potentially coming back for the Philadelphia 76ers. He probably will play. He's listed as probable. Joel Embiid's off the injury report after missing the last game. Paul George and Dominique Barlow continue to be out. On the Chicago side of things, Ayo Dosunmu's listed as questionable. Kobe White's listed as out. No Zach Collins. So Philly is a perfect 3-0 against the spread so far this season on the road. They're 5-1 against the number overall. Only game that they lost was that last game. Not the last game. They didn't lose their last game. They beat Brooklyn. Lost to who did they lose to? To Orlando? Who did Philly lose to? I can't. I'm having trouble remembering who Philly lost to. Who was they only lost to? Oh, to Boston. I'm sorry. Lost to Boston by 1. It still ended up covering that spread, but lost to Boston by 1 at the crib. That was on Friday, I think it was. And then, but this is the first leg of a back-to-back. They got a game in Cleveland tomorrow. The 76ers do. Chicago is the team that just lost. So they're 5-1 against the spread and a perfect 4-0 against the spread at home. And they also got a significant rest advantage after this game. They don't play again until Friday when they play the Bucks. So the more digging I kind of did into this game, man, initially my first thought was over. Like, why wouldn't you take the over? We got the second best offense in the NBA and the highest scoring offense in the Philadelphia 76ers. And that's crazy to think, right? Because you think about high scoring offense, the first thing that jumps out to me is Denver. Like, I'm like, Denver plays super fast. They got Jokic, they got Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon is knocking down threes. They got Cam Johnson out there now. Like, that's what I'm thinking about when I'm thinking about first offense in the NBA. No, actually the Philadelphia 76ers have the highest offensive rating in the NBA. And the Bulls are right behind them. The Bulls are the fourth best offense, the fourth highest scoring offense as well. Neither one of these teams I really trust defensively. Philly is 18th in defensive rating. We just saw them drop 130, 135 against the Brooklyn Nets the other day. VJ and Tyrese Maxey looking like an MVP candidate early. And then Chicago, I think, is a bit fool's gold as well, even though they are like between 10th and 13th, depending on where you find their defensive rating at. The problem that I have with taking the over, though, is that both of these teams shoot the three really, really well. Both teams actually defend it really, really well. And when I say defend it really, really well, both of these teams are top 5 in defensive rating. Philly is a team that takes a bunch of threes. Chicago is a team that takes a bunch of threes. And they both, like, I think Chicago's actually defending it better than Philly is right now. So that's the thing that scares me a little bit. I do feel like points are going to be had in this game, but 240 is a lot. You need both of these teams to get to 120. Even with that said, I'll lean that way. I see the money coming in on Philly. I'm not fading Chicago at the crib. Put it like that. That's the way I see Chicago. If I'm playing this game, I'm taking the points for Chicago. I'm laying the point, taking the money line, even if it flips the favorites. And I'm definitely looking towards some Josh Giddey props. Josh Giddey has been on an absolute tear so far this season, and being at the crib coming off a loss, I do think that Josh Giddey is going to play a significant role in this game against a defense that I don't really trust in the Philadelphia 76ers. So some way, shape, or form, Giddey's going over his points in back-to-back games against the New York Knicks. The New York Knicks are a much better defense than the Philadelphia 76ers. They got much better defenders. His assist prop, 8.5. He's gone over that in 3 straight games as well. 12, 9, and 12 in his last 3 games. And then he got a triple-double in that last game as well. So, I mean, maybe just all of it, right? 8.5 is his rebound number. He's over that in 3 of his last 4 games, back-to-back games against the Knicks as well. So, yeah, some form of way I would be looking towards playing Josh Giddey in this game. And then I see people saying Embiid first quarter points as well, which I couldn't talk you guys off. I think that he's gone over that number a lot. Let's see what you guys are thinking. What's up, Hype MMA? He says, good morning, Chris. How do you feel about McCain returning against the Bulls? I would need to see McCain. Like, he hasn't played a very, very long time. I mean, he got hurt so long ago. Like, maybe he messes up the chemistry a little bit, but the 76, I mean, I don't want to take anything away from Philly because I watched them play against Brooklyn the other day. And it's not just like, I know I said Maxey and VJ Edgecombe, but like Kelly Oubre Jr. looks like the old version of himself before he got hit by that car or whatever he had going on last year. So I don't necessarily want to fade Philly either, but I'm not fading the Bulls. Like if proverbial gun to my head and I got to pull a trip, like I got to make a play, I'm taking the Bulls at the crib. Sixers money line, Jalen says. Bulls for money line for me. I figured that's the way the books want it to be. They want all the money. They want the money to be split right down the middle. Intel says New Orleans got to win one of these. Yeah, I told you guys New Orleans was gonna suck this year. Defensively, they're just really, really bad. 3 times says 76ers money line over 239 for G221. Bulls are at the crib. Yes, they are, Intel. Bulls first quarter and full game for Chosen One. LJ says best bet over 239.5. 76ers 11-2 last 13. Over on the road going back to last season. Okay. Appreciate you 3-time. Was Boston. Free Sauce got Embiid over his 6.5 boards. His minutes ramping up 3 games ago, 23 2 games ago, 25 last game. This is the perfect game for him to touch 30. Also, he had 17 rebound chances last game in 25 minutes. Okay. It's kind of crazy to think Embiid rebounds is at 6.5. I remember when they used to be 10.5, 11.5, 12.5. And I ain't checked it since then. What up, Brian? It says, what's up, Chris? Give me 76ers money line. 102, minus 102, okay. Dude says Sixers on the money line. Maxey over his points and Embiid over his points as well. Let's see how it goes. Embiid first quarter points. Justin says 8 of the last 9 in this matchup have gone over. He put the 239.5 in his pocket. Nobody is checking Maxey, Queese. Nobody at all. What's Maxey points set at today? Let's see. Where can I get the best number? Let's go to ISJM. Tyrese Maxey points are set at 27.5. No juice on it. This minus 110, regular minus 110 on looks like all the books though. ESPN Bet, DraftKings, Hard Rock, BetMGM, all got minus 110 for Maxey. I could see it. Could definitely see it. The one thing that scares me, I guess, a little bit is I think Free Sauce mentioned it. Embiid, like minutes starting to go up. So his usage is going to start to go up with his minutes, in my opinion. Antoine says over. Mel says this might be a Sixers spot, but I have to put some bread on Josh Giddey. He's been going crazy for him. Absolutely. Maxey over his points, rebounds, and assists for 3 times. He says a lot of props for this game, for this high-scoring game, 50-50 game. Taking Chicago at the crib. A lot of back and forth. Buzelis has been balling at the crib. I wouldn't be looking towards his underreach. I agree with you. Maxey over his points from Malik. Giddey 10 assists. Vooch rebounds. I'll probably take the Bulls at halftime, depending on the score. Damn, y'all going crazy on this game, man. Notice says Chris had to get off the Bulls free diet. Let's go Bulls. I didn't play him. I did not play him. I have actually not made any money with the Bulls this season. I have not bet on the Bulls. I have not faded the Bulls. Been kind of just watching, man. And I don't know, something about them at the crib though. Something about them at the crib that just like they always got a chance. It just feels like they always go on a run. They always got a chance. I don't know, man. Maybe it's just a Bull team total up and over. I don't trust Philly defensively. They definitely gonna be running and gunning, trying to get Embiid up and off the floor too. They're gonna make Embiid work. These games are these tournament games tonight? I think that they are, yeah. Every team is playing every team is playing. I thought every Tuesday and Thursday, right? That's how it was last year, or Tuesday and Friday or something like that. The only team that's playing a non-conference opponent is the Charlotte Hornets and the Pelicans, because the Pelicans in the West, the Charlotte Hornets in the East. But the Bucks and the Raptors, Magic and the Hawks, Sixers and the Bulls, the Phoenix Suns and the Golden State, OKC, all those are conference games. A couple of them are divisional games too. So I gotta check that, Brian. I do gotta check that. Trey Jones over his assists as well. Cashed the over 4.5 last game. Think he's up to 5.5 now though. Quentin Grimes over his rebounds and assists. Y'all going crazy in this game, man. Best game of the night by far. Maybe that's why. I could see that 3 times. I could definitely see that. Him playing a little bit of point guard. What up, Peasy? Appreciate you for tapping in. No, Friday is the next set of tournament games. Appreciate you, Holmes. I'm not paying attention to that clearly, and I'm not gonna lie to y'all about it. Let's see. Giddy should get busy. Yeah, I agree. No cup games today. Justin reminded us as well. Cup games on Friday. Tariq says, Chris, overtime plus 1,700 worth of sprinkle. Could see that. I was hoping for overtime last night between Boston and Utah, man, and then Boston gives up another offensive rebound, and Nurkic hits the game winner with 0.6x left. Man, I was hoping for overtime. Anyway, let's go to the next game. So we got the Phoenix Suns and the Golden State Warriors. This actually is taking me longer than I thought, but I do enjoy interacting with y'all. So we got the Suns and the Warriors. Suns have Ryan Dunn listed. It's probable there will be no Jalen Green. There will be no Dylan Brooks on the Warriors side of things. No Al Horford. DeAnthony Milton has still continued to not make his season debut quite yet. So the Phoenix Suns are 0-3 against the spread on the road. Back-to-back wins and 3 straight covers, but all of them came at the crib. What they did to the San Antonio Spurs. I watched that game yesterday while I was getting the workout in. That was pretty impressive. The way that they're swinging the ball, like moving the ball. I'm not sure how many assists they had, but they look really, really good. Can they bring that? Can they bottle that up and bring it on the road against the Warriors team? That, I mean, what are the Warriors doing? They're 3-0 against the spread at home. Back-to-back losses though. Back-to-back non-covers as well. Hold on, y'all. Give me 1 second. All right, so what was that? I was talking about the Warriors. So the Warriors, like I said, back-to-back losses, terrible losses too. I mean, you can't lose to the Bucks without Giannis. You definitely can't lose to this version of the Indiana Pacers team, but they lost to both, laying pretty big numbers in both. And it's the first leg of a back-to-back for the Golden State Warriors as well. Their next game comes against the Sacramento Kings. So when I was looking through this game last night, I was actually want to show you guys this real quick. So I know I'm doing a lot of switching the screens back and forth, but I'm like legit. When I put those resources on the screen, I legit use all of those. So this is the Money Baller. There's a link in the description if you guys do want to check out the Money Baller. So if we go to this game between the Phoenix Suns and the Golden State Warriors, the first thing that stands out to me, so we got the Suns coming off a win as a dog, potential letdown spot. Warriors rest advantage, well rested, 2 days rest, coming off loss of favorite, bounce back, first game back to back, which we talked about all those. So the thing that stands out to me the most though is this. So these are against the spread numbers, ATS against the spread numbers. The Warriors are 0-7. 0-7 in the first half. Now, the thing is, I know the Warriors' third quarter is a thing, but they have literally not covered a fourth quarter at all. I mean, the first half at all. That to me is a little alarming. You can see that the 0-2 is right beside that in the first half. Do we get a very, very motivated, Warriors team and they come out and smash in the first quarter, just not playing around with their food at all? Or do they kind of sleepwalk and then we take them in the third quarter? I'm not really ready to lay this big of a number. I know that the Phoenix Suns are not going to be great this season, but I like the chemistry and the continuity. So even if the Warriors win, I don't think it's necessarily going to be by 11 points. I feel like at this point, before you lay this many points with the Warriors, and I could be completely wrong, but I feel like at this point, before you lay this many points with the Warriors, you kind of want to see them put it together, especially coming off 2 straight losses. And it's their first game back home. And they got another pretty big game tomorrow. Tomorrow against the Kings is a conference game as well, not just a divisional game. Not just a conference game, but a divisional game. Them and the Kings, of course, are in the same conference as well in the Pacific. So that's my thought process on the game, man. I still don't think I'm laying this big of a number. It'd be Suns plus the points or pass. I think the Warriors can win. I don't think it'll be by this many points though. Let's see what you guys are thinking here. I also think it is a little bit more of an under game. I didn't really touch on the total, but the Suns are actually playing some defense. Like, we'll see if it translates and they can bring it on the road. But when I was looking through it, they held San Antonio is not the greatest offensive team, but the Suns offense, I don't think is going to go out there and score as many points as they did in the last game. So last game they scored 130 against the San Antonio Spurs, and they scored 118 against the Utah Jazz. They held the Spurs to 118. They held the Jazz to 96. Excuse me. So the 2 of their last 3 have gone under the total. The Warriors' offense does not look great. Only 110 points against the Bucks and 109 points against the Indiana Pacers. They also only got to 98 against the Clippers. So they haven't had 111 points, crazy to think, in 3 straight games, and since they played the Memphis Grizzlies. So Warriors are, they just haven't really looked super impressive and put it together on both the offensive end and defensive end. So we go to Phoenix plus the points for me. Let's see what else you guys are thinking here. Warriors by murder, Helm says. Warriors minus 10.5, Justin says. So maybe I'm all by myself. San Francisco says, he says Warriors minus 20. Warriors bounce back spot. They took my money on Sunday. Warriors on the 10.5 and Curry over. So I'm the only person I'm very contrarian today, thinking that the Suns can cover this number. Faye King says, I'm late to the season. What up, big dog? Profitable WNBA season. Let's go, NBA. I was down about 7 to 8 units in the WNBA. Adam says, I'm on Kuminga over his rebounds. Deuce says, let's hope they bounce back. But the Suns took Wemby behind the woodshed. So I'm nervous. We gonna see, man. Intel says, do y'all trust the Warriors to cover this? Feels fishy. Under 234. I would bet under before anything else in this game. I think there's multiple paths to under in this game. LJ says Steph Curry points, easy money. Bad matchup for the Suns. Freestyle says no Al Horford. Kuminga buckets going to be flying all over the place. He had 10 on Memphis and 8 on Milwaukee. He's playing over 30 minutes and averaging 13 rebound chances a game. Okay. Golden State get right spot. Do we take them third quarter as well at home? If they don't cover the first half, I feel like it's kind of like an auto bet. I bet the Warriors third quarter against the Bucks on last Friday, thinking that they were going to get right, and they end up losing the third quarter outright to the Bucks. So I don't know. There we go. JW says he sees Suns plus 10.5. Chosen says Warriors first quarter. Now this makes sense. Warriors to come out and absolutely not play with their food early. I can see that. Dude says the way home games, the way how these games been going, I wouldn't be surprised if they lost outright. Warriors at home blowout. Suns money line. God, y'all all over the place, man. Warriors smash them tonight, in my opinion. Can't go wrong with Jimmy over his points, rebounds, and assists either. Minus 11 Suns. Warriors bounce back. Minus 10.5. Give me Curry over his threes. Wemby cost me 2,500. Yeah, Wemby was out there. They were doing a good job of fronting him, though. I watched Royce O'Neal front him, Devin Booker front him. Like, their coach, shout out to their coach, Coach Otto. Coach Ott, that's what his name. I said Otto. Coach I did a really good job of scheming for Wemby. Wemby don't play again until he play my Lakers tomorrow. That ain't gonna be good for my Lakers tomorrow. But y'all do me a favor, if you are religious, make sure you send a couple prayers up for DeAndre Ayton tomorrow, man. Malik says Warriors need this one after listening to Draymond podcast. I like pods threes. What's up, Stephen? Appreciate you for tapping in. It's top of the morning. Tariq says Warriors OKC teaser -5. Oh, I forgot we got one more game. What's up, Doms? P says Suns plus 10.5. I'm off this game, Jimmy says. All I'm gonna say is SGA, king of the court tonight if Giannis don't play. Jam says Suns plus the points. They have to try to keep the momentum after beating the Spurs. Even if they don't win, I don't think they play well enough. Even if they don't win, I think they play well enough. And I agree with that, Jam. I'm at plus the 11. Okay. All right. Last game on the board is, let's see. I've been on here for an hour. Yeah, it's all good though. All right, let's get the last game out the way. We got the Thunder and the Clippers. So this line yesterday was at 4.5. Man, I actually was looking at this game. I was about to send out Thunder -4.5, and then I kind of wanted to see how the end of the game went. And of course, the Clippers. If the Clippers won the game, I was definitely going to take the Thunder. But the Clippers ended up losing the game. I also just wanted to see how many minutes they were going to end up playing last night against the Heat. Should have played that over last night with the Heat and the Clippers. Really, just this Clippers team, I feel like is a little overrated, man. A little overrated. But then when you think that they're, you catch them off the loss, then they probably going to turn up. And I feel like they've lost one game so far this season before last night, and they absolutely turned up in the next. So, Miami went in there, got the win last night on the second leg of a back-to-back. The Clippers had the whole weekend off, so it's not too much of a rest disadvantage. They will be getting a Thunder team that is currently the only undefeated team in the NBA right now. As far as the injury report, the Oklahoma City Thunder will get Chet back. That's big. Lou Dort is listed as questionable. AJ Mitchell is on the injury report listed as questionable as well. Big Jalen Williams is listed as questionable alongside Jalen Williams, the guard Jalen Williams. I guess the small forward Jalen Williams, he's listed as out still, so he will still be out. Reports came out that Kawhi was going to play on both parts of the the front end, the back end of a back-to-back. But now after the game last night, they say he was uncertain. Same thing for Bradley Beal. He's uncertain. Bradley Beal always uncertain, man. Don't get me started with that guy. But anyway, of course the Thunder are the better team. Of course SGA is going to get up for this game. We talked about that already. He said it in the documentary. Whenever he goes back to play the Clippers after being traded, from the organization, he's always going to get up for that game. So could it be a look towards just the Clippers? I mean, to OKC? I think so. I think if I could have got the 4.5, I would absolutely smashed it. Like I said, I don't like that the Clippers are coming off a loss, but with Chet Holmgren being back, Isaiah Hartenstein being there, you got your rim protection back. OKC, finally starting to pick up the offense a little bit because getting Isaiah Joe back, I talked about him hitting 4 or 5 threes in that last game. The only other thing you had to really take into consideration is the Thunder have played against 2 cupcakes back to back. They had the Wizards and they had the Pelicans, 2 teams that have combined for 1 win so far. They're like 1-14. And the two of the worst defensive teams that we probably ever seen, not just this season, but in the history of the NBA. So, I mean, that's a little troublesome. The Clippers, I think, will be, a little bit more motivated. I don't think the Clippers are in the worst spot as far as rest advantage goes if Kawhi does play, because they had the whole weekend off. So I know that they're one of the older teams in the NBA. I don't like their youth at all. But I think, sometimes it take a while to kind of get going. And maybe it took them a whole game to get going, and then they can come in here and potentially get a backdoor cover. So I don't really want to lay this many points with the Oklahoma City Thunder on the road. I know that they have been really, really good, but if Kawhi's in, I actually want Bradley Beal ruled out. They probably better without him. And then you get the injury players for the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're not there. Like if Dort's not there, if AJ Mitchell doesn't play because he's listed as questionable, and if big Jalen Williams doesn't play, I think the Clippers plus the points. I know it's the opposite of what I was saying, because if I could have got OKC -4.5, I would have definitely did that. But +7 for the Clippers, +7.5, I think is probably the best look here if Kawhi is going to be in and you get the injury players for OKC. So that's my thought process, even on the second leg of a back-to-back, especially losing the game the way that they did last night. As far as the total goes, I still don't agree with the under. I think it's a little bit more of an over game. I know OKC is the best defensive team in the NBA, but I think that they'll push pace. I think the Clippers should be able to contribute a little bit as well. And I don't think the Clippers are going to be able to stop OKC from scoring. It's just going to be like, does OKC have enough 3-point shooting? Isaiah Joe being back now. You got Wiggins out there knocking down threes. Casey Wallace is a knockdown 3-point shooter as well. Even Chet can knock down a couple threes. So I don't really know what to do too much with the total, but I think it could go over. I just don't trust the Clippers defensively in these spots. Same thing I said last night. Clippers defense has not been great so far this season. Real quick to put some numbers to it, the Clippers are 26th in defensive rating. They got a 119 defensive rating. They're actually bottom 5 in opponent 3-point frequency and 3-point accuracy, bottom 10 in opponent effective field goal percentage as well. And now you come in here playing at these young Thundercats, and they're going to be turned up, man. They will be turned up. Let's see what you guys are saying here, and we will do a quick recap and get off. Yep, Chad is off the injury report. Clippers spread and money line, Helm says. So we agree on the Clippers. I don't think the money line. Brian says, Chris, DeAndre actually played well against Rudy Gobert, which we got eaten alive last year. So I'm not hating on DeAndre yet. Yeah, against Wemby tomorrow. I heard Wemby say some stuff after they lost that game that was like, oh, yeah, I don't really want to hear that. Your next game against the Lakers? Like, they don't got no other team y'all can play against yet? I think they're going to be turned for that game. But we shall see, man. Lucas should be back off the injury report. That's going to be a good game tomorrow. Lakers in San Antonio. San Antonio, I think, will be turned. They will be without Harper. He going to be out for a foreseeable future. But De'Aaron Fox is going to be back soon, too. He may even play tomorrow. So we'll see. Terrible spot for the Lakers, in my opinion, tomorrow, even though they won that game last night. It's fun guy playing on the back-to-back. We have no idea, JW. Intel says Clippers can't be trusted. Thunder smashed them in this spot. Like the Thunder early, first quarter. Kawhi landed awkwardly last night. Don't think he's playing. Grab the points, Freesaw says. Shea free throws made or attempted. Can't bet either. Well, actually, you probably can. This game scream Shea points. I agree. Tariq says OKC and a 7-point teaser with the Warriors for me. They turned up on the Suns. I don't think that they will turn up on the Thunder. Shea over his points. Thunder spread. Leonard looked like he twisted his ankle. Clippers first half, but I like more points. Thunder could just blow them out. Clippers were down by 12 at one point last night and gave Miami the game. I'm good on the Clippers to further notice. Let me talk you off. Clippers money lines. A lot of back and forth here. Clippers might have been thinking about this game last night more than the Heat. That's potential. That is potential. Clippers as a dog at home, got to take the points, Adam says. They were good last season. But I didn't see Kawhi twist his ankle. I missed that. Let's see something real quick. Let's just look at the Clippers last season when they were getting points at the crib in the regular season. 8-5 against the number last season, covered 61.5% of the time. They won 6 of the 13 games, so 6-7 straight up in this spot as well. They lost by average of 1 point. Okay. OKC team total over 114. Probably could get there. OKC has played them fraudulent teams in Houston before they formed their chemistry. I just said it, JW. Last 2 games will come against 2 of the worst teams in the NBA. Top of the morning, Chris. It's been a little minute since I've been able to catch it live. Keep pushing, bro. Appreciate you, man. SGA 40 piece tonight, potentially. Helm says 1 game bump if Kawhi is out. Feels like the Clippers too old for this matchup. OKC by at least 10. SGA 33 points tonight. Clippers plus 10. If Kawhi gets ruled out, you will get a Clippers. Probably this line will. I don't think it's gonna go to 10, but it's gonna move. I think some of this is probably Kawhi already being factored in as well. G421 says Lakers won last night to lose tomorrow. JJ Redick got the boys playing hard, man. All right, let's jump into it. Recap. Oh, I didn't bet either one of these, so they should not be green. They should be red. I think it's a really tough card today, man. So official plays, if you guys are new, are always in red. Official plays are always in green. These should be in red. I didn't make any bets today, but I do think Toronto's in a really great spot. And if LaMelo and Zion play, I do think that's a more of an over game. So those are two ways that I'm thinking for today. Some form of way to play Josh Giddey. He's been absolutely crazy, and Philly don't play a lot of defense. I also think Chicago wins that game outright as well, but I don't really. It's not a lot of conviction, if I'm being honest. Orlando and Atlanta, I think under the 228 is probably the best play on the board. I forgot to mention that. Let's see. Give me 1 second. Orlando, Atlanta under 220. You can get 228.5 on ESPN Bet. I think that's the way to play. Oh, I do want to mention one more thing real quick as far as total goes. Charlotte, New Orleans, definitely not betting that. That's a 1-800 gambler game. Philly and Chicago over. You can still get a you can get, it is moving now. 239.5 is still available though. Over 239.5. I think that's gonna be a high scoring game. And I know nobody likes it, man. Phoenix plus the 11.5 now on DraftKings. Plus the 11.5 now on DraftKings. Won't be touching the OK. I'm not even gonna add anything but OKC because I need to see what happened with Kawhi. So those are my thoughts, man. Whatever it is that you guys are betting, y'all know I wish y'all the best. Hope y'all come out green as always. Best of luck on your action, man. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. Check the resources out. They're all linked at the bottom. I even got cleaning the glasses down here at the bottom, right below this little bar right here. Because I utilize all these resources on a daily basis to handicap the games. And I showed you guys a couple of them. So appreciate everybody for tapping in. Hit the like button for me on the way out. Subscribe to the channel. Turn the notification bell on. And I will catch you guys tomorrow. Big slate of NBA tomorrow. Way bigger than today. So I'll catch you guys then, man.